Okay, this is problem number 2 on the practice test, and let's just uncomment all this stuff here right now. And what we need to do is we need to write a method called top_HW. We pass in a two-dimensional array. We say how many students there are, how many scores each student has, and we need to return the total that is the highest. So what we need to do is add up this row and save the number, and then add up this row and see if it's higher than the one that we saved. And if it is, then that's the one we remember. And then we go to this row and add everything up. And if that's higher than the one we saved, that's the one we remember. So you just remember the highest one all the way through. So you're going to have to step across an array. Let's write the private static, and it's going to return, I think it's an array of int, and top_HW, and we're going to pass in an array, two-dimensional array, so I need the comma in there, of, I'll call that homework again here. And let me see what the order was for the rest of them. The number of students and the number of scores for each student. Okay, so it's going to be an int students. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to keep track of the highest. So let's declare an integer variable called highest, and we'll just set equal to 0 to begin with, and then no matter what we find for the first student, it'll be bigger than 0, and so that's the one that we will save. Now here's what I want to do. I want to look at each student. So for so R is my row variable, and for each one of those I'm going to put brackets in here. I think I might need to do more than one thing here. So for each one I want to go across the columns, and that's supposed to be int. Okay. And oh, I need to compute the sum for everybody too. Okay, and so before I start on each student, I set that student sum equal to 0. Okay, so I do need curly bracket. Okay, so I'm gonna, while I'm between here and here, I'm processing one student. I set that student sum to 0, and then I go and look at every score for that student, and I sum it. So sum plus equals HW at the given row and the given column. Okay. When I follow that loop, I've added up that student's total, and I want to check to see if their sum is greater than highest. And if it is, then I want to copy it into highest. Okay. And then I go back and do the same thing for the next person. And when I fall out of this loop, I will have the highest homework score. So return highest. Okay. And let's go up here and see what we're supposed to get. We should get, let me see, row 1 is 380, row 2 is 425, and then 400. So we should get 425, and down here we should get 450. So let's see what we get. 425 and 450. Okay. And that is the solution to problem number 2.